What's up, guys? I'm just sitting here thinking about 9/11 on the 20th anniversary. If you're like me, it is hard to believe it has been 20 years since that event happened. What a terrible day. I guarantee you my 9/11 story, everybody seems to remember where they were and what they were doing when that happened. I guarantee you my 9/11 story is probably different than any you've heard. I've made it clear on my channel, I grew up on the road with my family. We sang gospel music. We still do to this day. Travel kind of part-time now and sing, but back then we were full-time. We were on the road going from city to city every week. And that particular week we were in Louisville, Kentucky for an event called the National Quartet Convention, NQC for short. And even though we weren't a quartet, that event, it's kind of a all-encompassing term for any gospel artist, like a trio, duet, soloist. It's any gospel artist can be there. It's not just quartet, but they call it the National Quartet Convention. But we were there that week, and it was a huge event. Still is to this day, but back then it was in Louisville at Freedom Hall, big venue, thousands of people. I mean, it shut the town down every year. It was such a big event, and we were there that week, and I was 4 days away from turning 8 years old. 4 days away from my birthday's on September 15th. So I was 4 days away from turning 8 years old. And now I'm 4 days away from turning 28 years old. But I remember the event, the convention started on Monday, and we got there and had the first night of it and went to our hotel. Woke up Tuesday morning and like we're watching ESPN, and they broke in on ESPN to announce that, you know, we were under attack in New York and, you know, at the Pentagon eventually. And very hard to comprehend as a 7-year-old who's 4 days away from being 8 years old, very hard to comprehend what is going on. But even for adults, I think it was hard to comprehend, like, what is happening? And all day, like many of you, we sat there in our hotel and just watched. I mean, we're in Louisville and we got this huge event tonight with all of these people, artists and fans of the music and everything that are there. And we didn't even know if we needed to go forward. I mean, it wasn't our decision, but we didn't even know whether to go forward with the event because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if there was more attacks to come. And, you know, it was just crazy, mass chaos everywhere. And we didn't know what to do, but they went ahead and had it. And I just remember, even as a kid, the uneasy feeling in the building that night. There was a big area where all of the merchandise tables were, a huge hall with that, and then into Freedom Hall where they were having the singing and everybody was in there. And it was just everywhere you went, people were just emotional, confused, sad, scared, everything, every negative emotion you could feel. And we were scheduled to perform that night in front of everybody. And I, in particular, I didn't always sing with my family back then, but I had this like comedy routine that I did where I would imitate other gospel singers that were there. And we had originally planned on doing that, but then the attacks happened and it was like, are we still doing that? Because everybody, like, I don't know if anybody's even going to find it funny, but we decided to do it. And I went up there and I did this 8-minute medley of songs by other artists, and I, you know, jumped around and acted a fool. 4 days away from turning 8 years old. And I'm not just exaggerating this for you guys. The place just erupted. The people went nuts. I wish I could find a picture of it or a video or something, but the place went crazy that night when I was up there doing that, cheering and applauding. And I remember even at that young age standing up there thinking like, I can't believe that people are up cheering and clapping and, dare I say, smiling right now, because I was like, this is such a terrible day. Even at that young age, I knew how terrible of a day it was. But looking back on it now, 20 years later, I think I get it. I think everybody that night needed to see a kid who just didn't know any better. That innocence, you know what I'm saying? That innocence, the childlike wonder on a day like that, I think was so refreshing, and it got people's minds off of what was going on, if only for 5 minutes. It got people's minds off of what was happening. I do remember that night after we got done, a lot of us went out to eat at Denny's, and everybody was just talking about the events of the day and talking about what's going to happen as we were eating our Grand Slam or whatever. And my nearly 8-year-old self, I just started boo-hooing at the table. I just started weeping. And it just hit me how scary this was. And I remember all of the adults that were there were almost, like when a kid starts crying, you want to be like, oh, it's not that big a deal. It's not, it's okay. But I remember everybody just kind of being like, I know, I get it. Like, let's cry together, because I'm devastated too. I'm scared too. And everybody talks about how the country came together after 9/11, and we did. It's so baffling to think about this country being that united now, because we're not even close. We are so far away from anything resembling September 12th, 2001, that it's not even imaginable that it could change that much in 20 years. But what a terrible day. And God bless everybody who lost loved ones in that. God bless everybody. The images that we all think of, the planes crashing into the building, the tower collapsing, the people jumping out of the building, that one nearly gets me every time. And the field in Pennsylvania with the plane that was headed for the White House, and there were some, I don't even know if heroic is the word. I don't even know if brave is the word. Is there something more powerful? I don't even know that you can use. A terrible day that, as they say, will live in infamy. Would love to know your story. Where were you? What did you experience? Let me know in the comments below. God bless everybody that was affected, and I guess that would be all of us, but in particular, every first responder, everybody who ran toward the building to try and save people, everybody we lost, everybody who lost someone. God bless you. God bless America, please. Never forget. Let me hear your 9/11 story in the comments. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my own sweet home. God bless America, my own sweet home.